Okay? And so tell me, what's a problem in your life? What's a pain in your life?
Well, my 15-year-old daughter got drunk last night.
Barbara is presenting a very rosy picture of her life. So Tony's next question had to be, what is a problem? Knowing full well that there are problems in everyone's life.
So her 15-year-old daughter got drunk last night. What happened to your plan with her?
Oh my God. Well, actually, that has propelled me into massive action, my husband and I. So in a way, maybe it's perfect. She got really sick. I don't think it was the plan at the beginning of the night, but it's what happened. And she got really, really sick.
And what does that mean?
She was throwing up.
Now, what does it mean? What does it mean that your 15-year-old daughter got drunk and that was not the plan?
You know what? It's my biggest fear. It was really interesting because I thought about today's about fear, and my biggest fear happened to me. I got woken up at 3 a.m. by my husband saying it happened.
And what did you feel?
Terrified.
Because what would it mean if she drank a lot?
Well, that she would die. That she would get raped because she's, unconscious, or get in a car accident.
That's very logical, that process, right? She'll die and be raped in that order.
That's all?
I like the sequence that your brain works. So I want you to understand that the reason this woman is so driven to help everybody is because she believes this is what must happen for life to be okay, and therefore everybody's life has to be better even if they don't want it to be right now. And that's her biggest problem. Her blueprint requires everybody's life to be better, and she doesn't realize that the largest addiction in the world is not alcohol or cocaine or pot or even food. It's problems. People are addicted to their problems because problems allow them to overcome their deepest fear, that I'm not enough, and if I'm not enough, I won't be loved. But it's not my fault because I have this big-ass problem.
Tony points out that Barbara has plans for everyone to have a better life, not realizing that many people are addicted to their problems and don't really want to have a better life.
And that fear is so deep in every human being, from presidents of the United States that I've worked with, to the top entertainers with Academy Awards, to children, to people in prison. And so her model of the world requires everybody to be happy and joyful and excited and on the plan and moving forward and all those things all the time, because otherwise she has no worth. And so her real pain is she makes up this story her daughter's gonna die. I'm not saying your daughter should go get drunk, but I don't know many 15-year-olds that didn't at some point. And they didn't all die and get raped in that order. Her fear is not more than her daughter. Her fear is that her life isn't meaningful if it doesn't go a certain way. And that is unfair to you and your daughter. And nothing your daughter does and nothing you do will ever change anything as long as that's the model of the world that drives you. Remember I said we all have a blueprint? And our blueprints have great things. What's great about her pattern? What's great about her blueprint is she's always looking to help and she's sincere. How many get you sincere? Right? She sincerely is looking to be a blessing in people's lives. What an unbelievable gift of a human being she is, except to herself. Because it works a good portion of the time. But then it's not gonna work, and then she feels like she's dying inside. She felt like she was dying last night. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, at about 3 a.m.
Yes, I understand. Yeah. If it was 7, it would have been so much better.
Well,
the little bitch could have waited to 7 to allow me to know that she was drunk. Why did it have to be at 3 in the middle of my dream? That was not in my plan. See, there's a core belief in you that if you plan a certain way, life works out and everyone lives happily ever. And that is not how life works. Here's how life works. Everything serves a greater good. And I think you believe that because you're already trying to figure out how to rationalize your daughter's behavior that it's good that this happened. Did you hear her doing that? Here's what's good about it, which is really beautiful because finding an empowering meaning is how we make it through life and make things happen. But you can put a patch on it, or this weekend you can uncover what's beautiful about your model of the world and where the weaknesses are, and you can change them, and then fear will leave your body. It'll return at times because we're human, but it won't be a dominant force. It's more dominant than you realize. See, successful people are usually much more fearful than failures. That's why they're successful. Part of their drive is, I don't ever want to be that. Failure goes, I'm here. Isn't it true? So you can learn to use fear or let fear use you. Right now, fear is using you a little bit and you don't even realize it because you don't just have the desire to help people, it's a have to with you. Now, I can relate to this because it drove me a good portion of my life, so I'm not like lecturing you. I'm speaking to you from experience. But life's very different now for me where my absolute prayer every day in my prayer before I come up on stage, when I'm backstage is, Lord, use me. Use me to serve. Use me to serve people's lives. I want to be a blessing in everyone's life in this room in some way. God coming through me, the right moment, the right thought, the right feeling, the right situation, somewhere it'll happen. Or it'll happen in the room without someone else. I really believe that. But I also am not attached that that has to happen for my life to be great or me to be fulfilled.
Tony points out that the fact that Barbara has a plan for everyone, including her daughter, will lead to frustration.
Stress comes from making things bigger than they really are. And failure comes from making things smaller than they really are. And you're too focused on the failure side and not on the stress side. My one bet is that you've done a great job raising your daughter, and with a little love and some guidance, she'll have a great life and it won't be the same as yours. But if you're gonna have an extraordinary life, you have to preserve the beauty of what this gives you, and you got to eliminate the life and death fear that's always under the surface that you don't even acknowledge. Because think about it, most people don't want to feel good right now because they're used to feeling bad. Who here has ever tried to help somebody? They said they wanted your help, and as you started to help them, they got kind of pissed off or annoyed at you. Who's ever done this before? Say I. Keep your hand up. Look at the percentage of people this has happened for. Look around. You should look around. It's the whole room. Most people have an emotional home. And for most people, that is not euphoria, hunger, drive, celebration, making a difference, having fun. It's called life's a bitch. Or it's called you piss me off. Or it's called I gotta make it through the day. And people know what they're used to, and even though they don't like it, it's their home, so they go back there. And if your life is about making them find a new home and trying to move them, they don't want to move, and then you will feel like a failure. So you focus on the people you can influence, which then is insincere because at some level you know you're not reaching other people. So maybe it's not so heavy. Maybe what could life be about that would have the same positive intent but less conflict?
What could life be about? You mean
other than making everybody have their ideal life right now, all the time.
God, yeah, it is pretty heavy, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's funny.
Yes.
I didn't think about it that way.
Give her a hand for that, by the way. Give her a big hand for that. No, give her a hand for that. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Barbara has realized what a burden it is to have to help everyone all the time, even if they don't want to be helped.
So, I do have a deep belief that, just being in peace and bringing peace is just a great thing. You know? So I am focusing a lot on my own. I've got big energy. I love energy, and I can produce energy, and I can give energy.
Yes.
I love doing that.
Yes.
And just being in peace.
Yes.
But I also really want to change the world for
I wouldn't take that away from you. I'm in the same league with you in that area. But the difference between wanting to and having to for your identity to exist is different. How many understand the difference I'm talking about? Right? One is it's who I'm about and what I'm doing. It's the difference between I have to have that or I have to have that or its greater equivalent in life, and I will do whatever it takes to share and make that happen. Which has an act of faith in it. See, when I was a young kid, this is my goal, and that's the only goal, and I must achieve that goal, and I often did. But I was exhausted afterwards. Didn't celebrate much. And then I started going, this is the mountain I'm moving towards, and as I get closer, I'll go over it or under it or through it. It is not the end, it is the beginning. And I have faith that I will be guided to that while I take action. I don't have faith without action. Faith without action is dead. But faith with action is amazing. And that's how you know it's really faith. You're not just telling something to yourself. So you can light up people, you can help change and enhance the world in all kinds of ways. But if life wasn't just about that, but it was actually enjoying more of life as it is. What if life was perfect as it is? That would really f up your whole blueprint.
You know, I'm happy. I love life. I'm not trying to make, but I really do every moment, and partly.
Except when your daughter drinks.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh my God.
Or when other people are not happy and you see them suffering.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
and I could go on for an hour.
Yeah, you're right.
But your identity is I'm a happy person because you really are. The majority of you is happy. But then there's other parts that are really fearful when you're not.
Right.
And it's okay to not be happy at times and use that energy to do something else with your life. How many follow? Right? This is not about the I'm happy all the time, every moment, positive thinking. It's about real. But you can train yourself so that 90% of the time you feel that upper feeling, and when you don't, you use that other feeling to make something better. But we all have to understand there are things that we control, and there are very few that we control. Mostly we control ourselves if we learn how to. We can influence other things, but you can't control your child. You can influence them.
Tony points out that accepting things as they are is part of being able to experience joy, as opposed to the fear of losing control over a child's normal experiences.
So you can still hold the standard of what you believe is important. You can express to her why you have fears about this, and you can tell her it's your fears, and it has happened, and it does happen. But you can also express some level of faith in her as well. A combination of holding the standard and faith is going to create greater influence. Because whenever you're 15, what do you believe? That you have all the answers, that you should have all your freedom, you should do everything right now. You're an adult, especially in the world we live in today with social media, right? So it's a difficult challenge, but it's an opportunity for you to see she's doing this for her, but maybe God's doing this for you also. Maybe this is an opening for you to expand the quality of your life, which will only reflect back on her and everyone else you care about. And you don't have to give up any of your passion for loving and giving to people. But you might have to give up your illusion that it all has to go by the plan, right? Because we all have heard the phrase, you want to make God laugh, tell her your plan. Give her a hand.
Thank you.
Tony concludes by pointing out that Barbara can still have her standards, but must also have faith in her daughter and lighten up instead of being so focused on her plans. Take a moment and ask the question to yourself, what is life about? What does the answer reveal about you? Can you think of a better answer? One that will lead to less stress and more joy?